Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. My name's Eben, and today the results are back, and it was successful. Our 20,000 mile oil change came back bulletproof. It's good for another 5,000 miles of severe service. So we completed 20,000 mile oil change of severe service driving. And well, we're going to show a little clip on how we got to our fluid change and how we tested it. Here it is. All right, how's it going, guys? Today is the day. After 11 months and 20,000 miles, we're going to finally see if AMSOIL Signature Series is the real deal. All right, I also wanted to mention I drive this car for Uber and Lyft, both. And I would say of the driving, the city driving was about 66%. All in the same oil change. The only thing we did at 10,000 miles is we changed the oil filter, and we used a really high quality Wix filter. Go ahead and check our dipstick. Let's see where the level's at. You can see it's about halfway down, a little bit above the bubble. And when we did the oil change back 10,000 miles ago, we were smack dab in the middle. So we maybe burn off about 0.2 quart. That's all we burn off in 10,000 miles. So there's the pan. And here's the analyst bottle, nice and clean. Let's do it, here we go. All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, and 3. We'll do it all in one shot here. Here we go. It's going straight in. Let's do it. There it is. One shot. We're doing our oil analyst. We got all the paperwork all filled out. We have our motor oil, which you saw removed. That was yesterday. We're going to go ahead and roll it up, rubber band it, and we did Uber and Lyft driving. And the city driving was about 66% city driving is my estimate, and the oil appears to be good. We'll find out. Here we go. Here's the seal. Come on in for the seal. That's it. Off to Indianapolis we go. Now we're back again. We're going to go over our results. Come on over. So this is it. Go ahead and take a look at that whole thing. We'll scan over it very slowly, all the way down. And now we're going to go over it. So up top has contact information, Analyzers Inc. They test all different types of lubricants from fleets. We have our Honda, 2011 Honda Accord. It's a 2.4 liter that we drove. Coming over here, this is the date tested. Coming down, a full flow filter. That's the oil filter we used. We used a Wix oil filter, and we used AMSOIL Signature Series. And AMSOIL Signature Series 020 is the thickness. And coming on down to our wear metals. Wear is basically non-existent. So we have our iron, chromium, these are all the wear metals, and the parts per million is very low. Our silicone is good, so we have very little silica inside the motor oil. Coming over to our boron, this is an additive that's specifically added to allow the oil to stick to metal. So there's no oil shear and it keeps your film strength, so that's very important. Coming on down, everything's good. Our unit, 20,000 miles. Coming on over through all this stuff. Our viscosity. Our viscosity is red, and that's critical, and that's because we went from a 20 weight to a 30 weight. So the range for 30 weight motor oil is 9.5 to 12.5. So we're at the higher end of a 30 weight motor oil. Coming on over to our base. Base is an additive that's added to combat acid, and as motor oil ages, it can become more acidic from combustion and from different blow-by that goes into the motor oil. And AMSOIL Signature Series comes with a very high base number, and the base is still good on this oil, still good for another 5,000 miles. Our oxidation is excellent, and that's pretty much it. It was a total success. You could comfortably drive AMSOIL Signature Series 1 year, 25,000 miles on an oil change without breaking a sweat in severe driving. And that's frequent stops, short trips, and sitting and idling or driving slow in a parking lot. It's very hard on the oil. And I wanted to go over you know, what we did over that oil change. You say, well, did you have to change the filter? And we did. What we did is we actually used a Wix filter, which is good for 1 year, 10,000 miles. And we ran our first filter for 1 year, 10,000 miles. We changed the filter. We added about 0.3 quart. And then after we added 0.3 quart, we drove it an additional 10,000 miles. And in between, we added, I would say, about 0.3 quart between filter changes. So the total oil added was 0.6 quart. And we added our 0.3 quart of oil when we changed the filter. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically 1 quart of oil was added over that whole 20,000 miles, and it was about 10.7 months. And our idling hours was 750 idling hours. And we actually exceeded AMSOIL's recommendation by 50 idling hours. And basically, when AMSOIL has their claim is 1 year, 25,000 miles, or 700 idling hours. And we actually exceeded the idling hours. So not only did our engine stay protected, our oxidation was good, everything came back bulletproof. There's nothing else to really go over on this. The only thing I could say is the oil could have been a little better if we used the AMSOIL filter. The only reason we didn't use that is it was a weekend and I didn't get a chance to pick up a filter. So I went to O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I grabbed the best Wix filter they had, and AMSOIL always recommends Wix filters if they don't make a filter for your car, which AMSOIL makes about 92% of all oil filters for most cars. They recommend a Wix filter. And a little bit about Wix filtration, they actually started in 1939, and they are the creator of the screw-on oil filter. So Wix actually created that, I believe, in 1954. So it's a great thing. You can thread on a filter in 5 minutes, add a little bit of oil, keep on driving. And there's also a lot of fleets that do 30, 40, and 50,000 mile oil changes with Signature Series motor oil. However, they change the oil filters more frequently, and they also top off the oil. And when you top off the oil, you're adding back anti-oxidation additives, and you're adding back base. So, for instance, like the Mercedes Sprinter vans, some of these Mercedes with the double bypass kit, they're able to do 50,000 miles on an oil change, and they utilize Oil Analyst on a regular basis. So they send the oil out all the time. And this is how fleets can save a lot of money, gas, time, money, and also protect their engines from wear, because as you see here, there's basically no wear metals at all in the oil. So if you guys enjoyed this as much as I did after a year of doing it, if you guys could share this with a friend, that'd mean the world to me. Also, if you have a question that I didn't answer here, leave a comment below. I will answer you right there on YouTube in the comment section. I'm going to get to it no matter what. If you enjoyed this stuff and you love it, we're going to be doing another oil change video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. and we will see you guys back at another oil change very shortly. We'll see you guys.